Hi, I'm Tom. I'm a PhD student with the Marine Energy Research Group. I'm in the first year of my PhD, and my PhD topic is looking at how marine animals interact with turbines, so looking at things like harbour porpoise and seals, and how they might be affected by the sorts of turbines we might be putting in the water. If we can come up with a way of predicting how these animals will react to turbines, it's easier for us to start using marine power. The more marine energy we can use, and the faster we can get it in place, the less we need to burn fossil fuels, the less environment damage we need to do to the environment in order to keep the lights on and keep everybody happy. So I guess the day-to-day work of being a PhD student is quite varied. It can change from spending all day sat reading papers and doing research that will help me get my work done. It can be spent looking at data other people have collected and trying to work out how to visualise that and how to use it in my research. And so things like the animation that I've been working on are looking at how the harbour porpoise move around depending on the tide. I managed to spend a little bit of time in Ramsey Sound, which is near St David's in Pembrokeshire, and spent the day down there with one of the other members of the group helping collect data and getting to have a look at the area where these animals are living, which is quite nice to be able to compare the map that I'd spent weeks looking at and working on to the area as it actually is, spending a day on the boat. Yes, I've always been quite curious about the reasons why things do things and how the world around us fits together, and so science always seemed to be a good way of getting answers to those questions. So my undergrad degree is physics, so I've spent 4 years looking at quite in detail of how various bits of the physical world work. And now I'm moving over and getting to learn a little bit more about how animals interact with what we're doing day to day. I think some of the earliest bits of science to electronics and things like that, being able to plug all these different bits and pieces together and see what you could come up with. Being able to take a box full of stuff and see what you can make it do. It's that kind of curiosity, I think, I think that's quite an important thing in science, is trying to find out what's going on and see what you can make it. See what you can find out, starting from what you know. I think if I wasn't a scientist, what I'd probably like to do otherwise would be an astronaut or something like that, which is a bit cheating because that's still a scientist, it's just being a scientist in space instead. I think the advice I'd give to anyone who's interested in science, interested in following science, is just keep an eye on what you're interested in. Go there, have a read about what's going on in the world. And if you enjoy it, keep at it. Even science at school may not always be the most interesting of subjects, it may not always be seen as the coolest of subjects to be studying, but it can be really good fun, and it's worth sticking at it if you're interested in it, it's something you want to go on and do afterwards. Don't give up.